All right, so we're live now.
Here we are
Yes, we are.
after the huddle's live.
It's the first time.
uh,
Maybe won't be the last time. So
Flying
what we got
mode.
on today's agenda?
Well, first things first, wanted to talk about preseason a bit. What we've seen so far, players that we've seen. What have you been impressed by? What have you not been impressed by? Um, got week 2 of our look to the future. We're gonna look ahead at the pull out the crystal ball, look ahead at the NFC South and AFC South. Um, and then I have a little top 5 list I wanted to get to. One of the little top 5 lists to get to, but we'll start it off with some preseason stuff. The Giants game was a couple nights ago. I'll tell you what, man, that offense, the first drive, it looks completely different with Darren Waller in there.
Oh, dude, it does. Like honestly, dude, I was watching y'all's highlights. I seen number 12. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude at wide receiver number 12 right now? He's tall as shit. And then I seen him. I was like, oh, it's Darren Waller. I'm like, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
It,
he was going crazy. Uh, he had like the first like 3-4 passes were straight to him, and he caught 3 of them. One got jarred loose on a big hit. That was a good hit too.
it's so weird seeing him wearing a small number like that after he wore like 80 something with the Raiders.
Yeah, and then Jalen Hyatt got open on a deep bomb from Tyrod Taylor for a touchdown.
Hey,
And bro, the speed that this team is playing with right now is just something that we haven't had in a long time. Like when I saw him get separation, I wanted to cry. I legit wanted to cry because
oh,
I hadn't seen that level of separation from a wide receiver in years.
bro,
It's been since like Odell years, bro. We have not had a guy that can create separation with just releases speed in forever.
because like I'll tell you right now, the Cowboys people that were telling him, oh, we know why you're so high up is because you can run, you're fast. He's like, well, I can run routes too, like he was saying.
Yeah,
We seen it last night. That post corner that he ran,
yeah,
crucial.
crucial because then if you can combine that speed with the ability to run routes, that's deadly, bro.
Yeah,
Deadly.
he only just give him like another 2-3 years to where he can really learn how to get in and out of his breaks with that speed and everything. That's gonna be nasty.
Facts. No, I definitely agree. Offensive line looked really well. Evan Neal still has some growing up to do. He's having a tough time with his switches, where the D linemen are like kind of sithering over each other.
Right.
So like he'll lead his guy inside, but then that guy that's coming around to the far side that's going to the quarterback, he's not getting to him fast enough. He needs to be able to get off of it and push him that way while still be able to get back to the right. So he still has a little bit of growing up to do. You could see his pains. Andrew Thomas looks like another year of being a top 3 left tackle. So I'm glad with our center, that John Schmidt dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna make an impact day 1. He's good. I sent you a picture of it, bro. That pocket that Daniel Jones had on one of those throws, bro, it was like the widest pocket I've ever seen him have.
That was a clean pocket.
Bro, he had all day to throw the ball. He had room to move. It was crazy. It was crazy.
And then we have Bryce Young. Bryce Young's got a lot of growing to do, dude.
Yeah, which I expected. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. I was telling them, that when you're an Ohio State or Alabama quarterback, it's hard to really see what you can do because of how much talent's around you.
On top of that, you have so much expectation coming from those 2 colleges, just to let alone, especially at the quarterback position.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you're surrounded by 4 and 5-star recruits at all these skill positions. You got a defense full of 4 and 5-star recruits. Like, Yeah, it's easy to win games when you have that much talent on the field. But I mean, for guys like Bryce Young, you know, they go to these schools and it looks good and it gets them to the NFL, but then it doesn't translate precisely to the NFL, and everybody knows that. But I will say this, and I got to give a little bit of shout out to Alabama, because right now they have like 4 guys from their program that are starting quarterbacks.
It's like every year.
Bryce Young, Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, Tua
Tua.
Tagovailoa. Those are all Alabama products. Yeah,
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, transferred and did his thing, but still, they're all Alabama products. And it's crazy to see Alabama having 4, considering that like most of the time Alabama quarterbacks really aren't that great. But if you look at it, and I explained this to him, if you look at it though, they're still not all in the elite category. Like the thing about it is that look at Jalen Hurts, okay? Jalen Hurts and what he's done in Philly. But this guy has a top 3 wide receiving duo, the number 1 offensive line, a top 3 defense. Like let's not overstate what the team has to his abilities. Does he run it well? Absolutely. He's a great player. I'm not taking away from him. I'm just saying, if you look at Daniel Jones, has had none of that. We've had a bottom 29 wide receiving core every year he's been there. We've had a bottom 27 offensive line every single time he's been there. We've been lowest in sacks multiple times in the season. As far as like on the defensive side, we give up a top 5 amount of sacks on our side, and our turnover ratio hasn't been positive in a really long time. Even last year, we barely turned the ball over on offense, and we still had a negative turnover ratio. You want to know why? Because our defense doesn't create turnovers. Because we're not creating sacks. We're not making them have to do risky plays. It's a lot of safe throws and a lot of safe passes. I mean, a lot of safe runs and a lot of safe throws. Like, it's nothing. We don't let them take the top off, but they dink and dunk on us all day long.
Yeah.
We do get a lot of stops in the red zone. I will say that we were top 10 in red zone defense. And we were like top 5 or top 7 in points allowed per game, something like that.
Yeah, y'all's defense is going to look pretty nice, probably, I think, because, Thibodeau's just going to keep doing what he's doing. I think he's only just going to get better.
Oh, yeah, he is. He had a sack last night. A couple nights ago. He had a sack. Dexter Lawrence still looks good. I like Okoronkwo, whatever his name is, Okoronkwo. That motherfucker's all over the field, bro. He's a starter. He only played like the first quarter, had 7 tackles. He was all over the field, bro.
You're talking about somebody that's all over the field. You watched the game last night?
Nah. I caught like the last like 3 minutes of the first half. That's all about I could catch because I was working. But I did see that play to Boutique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that catch and run by him. That was a good move.
Hey, I'm so happy that motherfucker's playing. I'm happy he's playing because, like, we drafted him in the 6th. He was one of our 2 picks in the 6th. And so I'm happy to see him getting on the field and actually doing something because, like, out of everybody we drafted, I think he's one of the dudes I hope makes our team. Like, hands down, I think he makes our team. Now, we have this other dude named Demario Douglas who's been, killing it in camp, apparently.
Yeah.
But in the past 2 games, I think he's only caught 2 targets, to be real with you. And I think that's about it. I don't think he's done. I don't think he did anything week 1. Matter of fact, I don't think he played week 1.
Yeah.
Week 2, last night, I think he got 2 targets. Now, Boutie's just been stacking better days. So, like, I think he might push him out, especially with that Trey Nixon injury last night. Because that injury for Trey Nixon looked bad. Because I don't know if you saw it, but dude rolled over and just popped his arm out, and that was.
What happened? What happened on at the end play right there?
Well, we got canceled.
Yeah, what happened right there?
So, I didn't get to see what happened. I just read it, and then so apparently, one of our rookie corners, Isaiah Bolden, he went to go make a tackle, and it was friendly fire, and he got hit in the head, concussed, like immobilized, and everything, like got carted off the field. It was bad, but he got released this morning and he flew back home with the team, so he's good for right now. Right now, at least, there's still other things that needs to happen for him to get back onto the field.
Yeah.
Same
I get it.
Same situation happened in Tampa. I don't know if you saw what happened in Tampa. Their one of their backup quarterbacks got carted off the field too.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that one.
So it's crazy. It's crazy how people are just dropping like that right now.
People get hurt, bro. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
People get bigger, faster, stronger.
Every day.
What do you expect the collisions to be like? You know what I mean? They're going to be bigger, faster, and stronger collisions.
Ray Lewis said it the best. He's like, football is a car accident, basically, because you got two fast people. You got fast people colliding with motherfuckers. You got big motherfuckers colliding with big motherfuckers. So it's just bound to happen.
Yeah. But well, I mean, it happens, man. It's part of the game. Injuries are part of the game. Bad things are gonna happen. We know this. And I think especially with the Damar Hamlin incident last season, it put a lot of people on notice.
Oh yeah. I think the league's a lot more aware now of a lot of things.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes this season, man. We'll see. I mean, it's still, we're still on the cusp. We're still got a couple more weeks till the season starts. And then it's it's on from there.
Yeah. Which one to get into?
Is there anything else from the preseason that you saw that was thought was good?
Green Bay looks serious.
Jordan Love does not look that bad.
He does not. He really does not. On top of that, I think they found their third string running back. That I can't remember what dude's name is.
Oh, he had didn't he have 188 yards in that first game?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he had like an 80-something yard run in the first game against Cincinnati. Yeah, and then last night he was killing it. I was honestly waiting for him to pop one, but he never did. Go ahead.
Well, all right. Well, let's get on with a look at the future then, and take a look at the AFC and NFC South. We'll start with the NFC South since we started with AFC last time. We'll start with NFC South, and we'll look to the team that I think is probably going to win the division this season, and that's most likely going to be the New Orleans Saints. They don't really have a hard schedule because their division's really weak. I mean,
keep going. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't really know anybody in the NFC South that's going to be able to compete with the Saints. As far now, that doesn't mean to say that there's some great team that's going to make the Super Bowl. It's just that their division isn't that great. Tampa Bay is not has question marks at quarterback. Carolina's dealing with a rookie quarterback. Atlanta's starting Desmond Ridder. Let's just go with that. But there's not a team that's really like the Saints. They're set at QB. They're set at running back. They have skilled players on the outside. Their offensive line is a bit shaky. But defense is kind of solid. They got superstars at all three levels. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore, though, needs to step it up. He had a really good rookie season, and then outside of his rookie season, he hasn't really done all that much except shut down Mike Evans in a few games. So I need to see more from him. I do. I need to see more from him. DeAndre Jordan's going to do what DeAndre Jordan does. And Demario Davis is a really good centerpiece for them at the linebacker position. So I just unless something goes completely haywire because they have Dennis Allen as a head coach, I don't see anybody taking over the Saints right now in that division. NFC South is just too weak. There's too many question marks on every team. I mean, even the Saints have question marks, especially because of their coach. Like I said, we've seen what Dennis Allen can be. Dennis Allen is not a head coach. He's not a great head coach. I don't even think he's a good head coach.
He's a defensive coordinator.
No, I was just saying, like, I just don't see a team that can compete with them right now because everybody else has question marks, and the Saints do too, especially at the coach. But they like I said, they got, quarterbacks solidified, running backs are good. They got skill players on the outside that are good, a solid defense. Their line's a little bit shaky, but it is, it's not terrible. So, I mean, I just don't see anybody else beating the Saints for the division this year.
Yeah.
Unless the only way is if Carolina, like if Bryce Young just comes in week 1 and just starts, figuring it out instantly. You know what I mean?
And to be honest with you, I don't even see that happening.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
I don't see that happening. I definitely see the Saints winning in at least 10 games, at least minimum.
I said 9-10 games as well.
So yeah, I'm gonna ride with 10 because we went to practice. I don't know if you touched on that, but when we went to the practice, that the first padded practice, we were seeing people hit, and I think the only thing I'm really worried about is, can Mike T stay healthy?
Yep.
That is their biggest issue. That's one of the biggest issues they have, because he's only played 10 games in 3 years. This dude, Tracy, look at this.
Bro, there's no way that the Bucs are gonna be the champs, bro. They're not even gonna win their division. Like, it's not gonna happen. I'll tell you what, Tracy. If they even make a playoff spot, I'll give you $40, bro, because it's not gonna happen. I'll give you $100. It's not gonna happen. The NFC might be weak, but it's not that fucking weak. Okay.
I remember Tracy told me one day, he was like, well, they going back to Josh Johnson days.
Not the Josh Johnson days.
Josh Johnson days.
No, let's take it back to the Antonio Freeman days. How about them days, huh?
Or the creamsicle orange days.
Let's talk about Brad Johnson excluding 2002 because that defense carried them to a championship. And then the Raiders are like, oh, let's change our game plan a little bit before the Super Bowl. Hand you a Super Bowl.
Oh, look, he agreed.
That's a bet, bro. They're not, because I know they're not gonna make a playoff spot, like, at all. Like, I don't. Josh Freeman, that's who it was. I can't remember his full name.
He said, "Nah. He still got a bowl for us."
Brad Johnson got a bowl, I guess, but like, that's like, dude. Do we really talk about Trent Dilfer because he got a bowl? You know what I mean? Like, let's not go there.
Yeah, speaking of Trent Dilfer and Ambra, what happened? Oh, both defenses carried him to the team to the Super Bowl.
Oh man, there's the Saints. The Saints are going to win the division, and there's no other team that's going to make it to the playoffs from that division. There's just not.
Yeah, I don't.
But
to be real with you, Tracy, bro, I don't even think y'all know who y'all's QB1 is right now.
I mean, but let's talk about the Bucs. I think they end up probably third in the division. To be honest with you, I think they're going to end up behind Carolina.
He said if we had Fitz.
If you had Fitzgerald, I mean Fitzpatrick, I would agree. If Ryan Fitzpatrick had one more season with y'all, I would agree. Y'all would probably make the playoffs. I don't see y'all doing it with Baker. I just don't. I don't.
Kyle Trash. So it is mind blowing how many people I've heard say Kyle Trash and not Kyle Trash before the preseason even started, dude.
I just don't see it happening.
Like, it's so bad that they call Kyle Trash on the radio by that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think y'all win like 6 games this year.
Damn.
I think they go 6-11 or 7-10.
Damn.
I'm setting their win like at a 6.5.
It might be getting down to it. Like if they want to rebuild, you might have to look into trading Devin White.
Yeah, they're so bad. I think they're gonna lose 1 game to the Falcons. I think they're gonna split with the Falcons.
He said, "Wow, bro."
Bro, it's not you, Tracy. It's not you. It's your team. Like, I'm not saying these things because of you. Look at your squad. Yes, you have skill players. Your offensive line, a little bit shaky. So it's middle of the pack. You lost Fournette. Who's your backfield now? You know?
They don't have Rojo no more.
You know, you got Baker Mayfield, who hasn't really proven anything outside of his rookie season.
Yeah.
Your defense is solid. I do like your front seven. Your front seven is really good, but I'm not particularly high on those cornerbacks.
Yeah, the Super Bowl year they had some pretty decent corners.
Like Winfield's a pretty good safety. I mean, Fournette didn't really do much last year. I agree, but then again, y'all didn't really use him a whole lot. Y'all were still trying to throw the ball with Tom Brady 40 times when he's 45 years old.
Brady does hold the record now for most pass attempts.
That's like I mean, this man, I saw it, bro. He threw over 40 times in a game. And I'm like, bro, why do you have 45-year-old Tom Brady throwing for over 40 passes in a game? He needs a run game. They're not running him the ball. But it goes hand in hand also because your defense is giving up points. So sometimes he's got to throw the ball.
Yeah. But I don't think Baker or Trash can lead them to come back.
Like, y'all are a team that's going to have to play with the lead. And he wasn't getting no yards, bro, but you're setting him up for failure. Like, what happens if this man goes to another team and shines, bro?
Yeah, for a while, we thought he was going to go to New England. But, that ultimately didn't happen.
And then, okay, so even what you're saying, even if Fournette wasn't getting you no yards, that means y'all haven't improved in the running back position. That just furthers my point of the lack of a running game. And then you don't have a running quarterback. You got a guy who thinks he can scramble, but he really can't. So Tracy, how many wins do you honestly think that the Bucs are going to get? Like, be realistic.
I don't even know. I don't remember who they played, to be real with you. I think they split. Well, I think they split with Atlanta.
I think the Saints beat them twice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the teams that New Orleans has their number.
Because you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but Mike Evans always seems to shut down against Marshawn Lattimore and the Saints.
Yeah,
I had Mike Evans on my team, and I take him out whenever he plays the Saints because he's not going to have a good game. He never does. Yeah, y'all swept the Saints last year, and that's not going to happen this year. And trust me, it wasn't because of Mike Evans that y'all did it. You thinking maybe about 8?
Tracy,
why
run
is
those
6 or 7 so disrespectful when that's only 1 or 2 games off of what you're saying? And you honestly think if you go 8-9, you're going to make a playoff spot? That's not going to happen. Because I can tell you, Philly's going to have a better record. San Francisco will. Seattle will. That's 2 in the same one. So one of those people is going to take a playoff spot. Dallas will. The Giants most likely will. Shit, we don't even know what Washington's going to be like yet. If Sam Howell can get it together, they might actually be a good team. That's just one division. You still don't know what the Rams are going to come back and be like. You know, the Cardinals, yeah, they're going to be bad. San Francisco, they're a good team. Seattle's a good team. The Saints in your own division, they're going to be probably the best team in y'all's division. And you're going to have to play them twice.
Unless they do Saints things.
Yeah. And then in the North, you know, Minnesota's most likely going to be fighting for a playoff spot, as well as Detroit. Detroit's going to be fighting for a playoff spot. And Jordan Love may be able to carry them Packers to a wild card. We don't know. This is why it's called predictions. With the way the team's set up this year compared to what it was last year, I just don't see y'all doing better or the same as y'all did last year.
What was their record last year?
They went didn't they go 8-9 or 9-8, something like that?
It was enough to get to the playoffs, but I know they lost to Tampa. Not to Tampa, to Dallas.
Minnesota to the bowl? That could happen. That could happen if they didn't have Kirk Cousins as a quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if they get past Philly or San Francisco.
And their defense needs to be better. Yeah. Their defense was trash last year.
He said 8-9.
Tampa Bay won 8-9 last year. They won a division with a losing record.
It was odd. That whole division was ass last year.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I think 6-7 wins is going to be where they're going to be at. I think the Panthers are going to be tied with y'all in that same kind of aspect. I think the Panthers are going to be fighting for that 2 and 3 position.
Indeed.
Yeah, the whole division was negative. Yeah, it's probably going to be close to that way this year. You know what I mean? So, these teams didn't really get better. Like Atlanta added Bijan Robinson. That's about it.
Speaking of him, have you watched any of his highlights by chance?
Yeah, from Texas?
Yeah, I'm talking about from the last 2 weeks.
Oh, from last week?
Like the last 2 weeks.
No, I have not.
Hey, son, I'll be real with you. He looks like he's gonna be something serious.
Yeah, he probably will be. I'm not disagreeing that he's gonna be a bad player, but that's the only thing that they really added. Like Desmond Ridder's still running the offense. I don't see him as a really great player, but you never know.
Like,
I think they're still going to be last in the division. I think they're going to tank. I think they're going to try and tank a little bit and get Caleb Williams out the draft.
But that means they got to beat out Arizona because Arizona got the top 2 picks.
Yeah, but Arizona's draft, they'll probably draft Marvin Harrison Jr. if they get the top pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to about that. They were saying that Marvin Harrison's going to be like a top 10 pick. I'm like, top 10? I'm like, he's not getting out of the top 5.
Bro, he's not getting out of the top 5.
Like, that's not happening.
There's no way he gets out of the top 5. No way.
Because Arizona's already solidified for 1 and 2 from last year. You know, they got the Houston's pick. That was the 3rd pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're sitting at 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
All right. So you want to move on to Atlanta?
Yeah. So with Atlanta, I don't see that. Like I said, I'm not high on Atlanta. I think Bijan Robinson will probably win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But they'll probably win about 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, I don't see them winning a lot of games this season.
Could they be the first team to lose every game?
Lose every game?
Yeah.
No, they're not going to lose every game. Bijan Robinson will go off enough, and Desmond Ridder will play well enough in one game where they'll end up winning it. And you just don't know which one it's going to be. It'll probably be a division game too.
It'll most likely be a division game. It'll most likely be either on the. For some reason, it'll be on the road, or it'll be at home.
Yeah.
One of the two. But, all right, so how do you feel about Carolina? It happens.
How are we so disrespectful, bruh? Like, these teams, like, bro, like, what you think teams don't win 2-3 games a year? It just happened last year. You don't think that happens?
It happens.
Like the teams that come in last place in these divisions win about 3 to 5, maybe 6 games if you're in a good division, or if you're in a bad division per se, maybe depending on how you look at it.
Shit, look at Detroit that year. The year they got Stafford.
I mean, come on, bro. Y'all lost. Oh, y'all were 0-16. You act like these teams can't win. Like you act like teams can't lose games consistently. Come on, it's not disrespectful. It's realistic. Now, you want to go look at disrespectful? Go look at the USA Today predictions that they do every year. That shit's disrespectful. Okay, so if you know that, then how is it disrespectful to say it, bro? Come on. Wait, so you mad that truth is disrespectful? This is what we on now? Truth is disrespectful. That's crazy. But I'm not even saying it in a disrespectful way. I just said Bijan Robinson probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but outside of that, they haven't done anything.
Nah, I think they're that bad this year. I think
how are they not that, bro? They don't have a defense, number one. They got some skill players, but Drake London and Kyle Pitts have both been injury prone since they've been in the league.
Yeah. I don't even know Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown last year for one. His rookie year, he only scored 1 touchdown.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
hold on. That 1 touchdown wasn't even on U.S. soil. It was in London.
Yeah, they don't really have a number 2 guy over there outside of Drake London, you know. And you got Bijan Robinson, and you'll have a run game, yeah, but you're not going to be able to throw the ball like that. And this is a passing league, so they're not going to be able to score abundant of points. And then you can't rely on your defense because your defense isn't all that great. So how many games do you expect to honestly win? They're not going to win 6 or 7 games. They're probably going to win 5 games, maybe 6 at most. Like, this is a team that's going to be in the top 10 picking next year again.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's not disrespectful, man. But, all right, let's move it on, man. Talk about the AFC South a little bit. Both South divisions are honestly trash. Like
the
Jaguars. The Jaguars are the team I expect to win this division this year.
Yeah.
At the addition of Calvin Ridley coming back, oh my God, it's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be an issue.
Like he's gonna go crazy. And it's gonna open up the offense for Trevor Lawrence. It's gonna open up the offense for Travis Etienne. They have a solid defense. I mean, they still got high picks over there on the front 7. Their secondary is a little bit iffy. But
yeah, we said this last year. We even said it last year that they was going to win it again.
Yeah, the Jags are definitely gonna take that division. I don't really see the Titans. Titans could make a surprise. You don't know precisely if they will or not, but they might. But the Colts and the Texans are not even going to be close. They're not even going to be close to a playoff spot this year. Once again, those are teams that are going to win very low games. It's not disrespectful to say that. It's just realistic.
Out of the Jags, not Jags, out of Indy and Houston, who do you think comes in 4th? How do you think 3 and 4 go?
All right. What'd you say?
Out of the 4 teams, how do you think 3 and 4 go? How do you think Houston and Indy finish?
I mean, I don't know. Houston might actually do better this year. Yeah, the Titans might, maybe, but only because like they still have Derrick Henry, and I still believe in Derrick Henry. I don't think he's a bad player just yet. He's got to stay healthy though.
Yes.
Ryan Tannehill's top 5 in ball placement, not accuracy. Before people get misconstrued, accuracy and ball placement are different. Accuracy is the ability to hit an open guy. Ball placement is where you place the ball on the throw.
Yeah, high, low.
Yeah. His ball placement's top 5 in the league. I don't care what anybody says. I've seen the tape. So then they got D-Hop. You know, that kind of adds. Can D-Hop stay healthy? Can he stay on the field as well? They got a pretty old team, but they don't have a defense. Their defense is trash. Their offensive line isn't that great, and their defense isn't that great either.
I think their best defensive player is Justin Simmons.
Oh, but Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons, yeah, he's a D tackle. So
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. But yeah, the Jags are just gonna be a little bit too much. I expect them to win probably 11 games this year. 11, maybe 12 games. Go 12
Yeah.
and 5, 11 and 6.
Yeah.
The Titans, I expect them to win about 9 games. They're probably going 9 and 8, just above 500. And then I see the Texans actually being a little bit better than the Colts.
Okay.
Mainly because the Colts lost players. They did draft Anthony Richardson. I think C.J. Stroud's a little bit better than him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think he's got more experience under his belt than Richardson.
No, he does. He does. I think he definitely has more experience. He has more poise than Richardson. And it's just waiting to see what they're going to be precisely on the field. You just don't know because they're still really young and they're still rookies. And I'm not one of those guys that are like, oh, well, this guy has to come in and do something immediately. And if he doesn't, he's a bust. No, I give the guy a few years to really produce and really develop and see where he could be.
Speaking of rookies, every rookie wide receiver so far has caught a touchdown.
Yes, that's actually an interesting stat.
Yeah.
Rookie wide receivers and it's funny because I wasn't high on the wide receivers this year. I talked about it a lot. And they've been proving me wrong a little bit, but it's still preseason. You know, these guys are still not going up against the number ones and all that consistently. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
You got Hyatt that scored. Quentin Johnson scored. I don't know if Zay Flowers scored. Jason, I think, scored.
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr. got a pick. I mean, Gonzo hasn't really done anything. Gonzo got hit the first play of the game and got knocked out.
I mean, like I said, it's preseason. I take it with a grain of salt a little bit because they're not going up against ones consistently.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes when the season goes throughout the season. But I expect the Titans to win about 4 or 5 games this year. They'll be a little bit better than what they were last season. Not much. But I think C.J. Stroud will carry them to at least 4 victories, at least minimum.
Yeah. It was that the first game, that pick he had, it was just a bad throw. It was a bad read. You know, Jalen Mills was just sitting back there reading them, and it turned into a pick. So,
yeah,
mistake, learn.
So. Yeah, he'll get there. He'll get there. But I think he's the best prospect to come out of Ohio State in a long time. So we'll see.
But speaking of Houston, have you seen Will Anderson?
Have I seen what?
Will Anderson, like his highlights so far?
Oh no, I haven't really seen his highlights.
Hey, he's picking up exactly where he left off in college.
Yeah.
He blew up one play, and then he got a strip sack. I think maybe a few plays before or after that. So he's showing out, just like we figured when Houston traded up to the 3rd pick to get him.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it coming. Like
we saw
when they traded up to grab him, we both were like, bro, that's a crazy steal of the draft.
Yeah, and we called it like a month prior.
Yeah. So now you got a staple on offense and a staple on defense out that draft. That's crazy. That's really good draft and really aggressive by the general manager and D'Amico Ryans and company. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think the Colts probably win about 3 games, maybe. They could maybe win 4 or 5 if Anthony Richardson does turn out to be better than what I'm expecting him to be when he starts. I just don't think he's going to have the talent around him outside of Jonathan Taylor. You know, I mean, Michael Pittman Jr., he's a solid number 2 in my opinion. Rockets and Folk. We're not talking basketball. And even if we were, Rockets wouldn't even get a chance to win it in 4 because they'll never make it to the playoffs until they do something better with their team. What's it called? But yeah, I don't see the Colts winning a lot of games. I think they'll probably come last in this division. It's not a knock on Anthony Richardson. I just think he's young and he's inexperienced and he's going to be overwhelmed a bit, especially to start the year. And they'll probably pick it up about mid-season or so, and he'll get better, and he'll get better and better. but to
Oh, yeah.
start, I think it's going to be bad. So hang in there, Colts fans. It's going to be a bumpy ride for a little bit.
Yep. They got to figure out what they're doing with Jonathan Taylor too.
Yeah, I mean, y'all saw this coming. I mean, Colts fans can't act like they didn't see this coming. After y'all been trying to use quarterback bandages with Nick Foles and Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz and all. You wasted time. You should have been drafted a quarterback. You should have been made this move. Now you had to go through those years of league purgatory, where what I call league purgatory is where you use to not be bad, but you don't win enough games to really contend for a Super Bowl.
Yep. Me, Matt Ryan, everybody. They've ran through a list so far, and it changes every year.
Yeah. So. And then Matt Ryan too. I forgot about Matt Ryan. Thank you. So
it's at least 7 quarterbacks, I think.
Yeah, brother. You should have been drafted somebody.
Oh yeah,
been drafted somebody, but you didn't. You fucked up.
Yeah, fucked up, and you fucked up when they had Andrew Luck retired.
Yep.
You was 2 years too late to getting him a goddamn O-line. Yep. That's all they needed at the time was just an offensive line, because he was just getting beat to shit. And then what happens 2 years later?
Yeah, it's amazing how that works, huh?
It was 28-3. Come on.
I just forgot. He's talking about the one against Minnesota last year.
Oh yeah, that is right. That is right, against Minnesota. I didn't forget about that game. That game was wild. I forgot all about that one. The Minnesota comeback shit.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan's like classic for giving up games. I just forgot he played for Indianapolis. It was one season. Like, it's easily forgettable.
It's wild that he won MVP and he's labeled as a choke artist.
I mean, bro, he made it to the Super Bowl with MVP year. They couldn't close out. And he had Kyle Shanahan as his coach. That's what happens.
Yep, and probably both Hall of Famers easily, probably. And, Matt Ryan's got stats. Shanahan's got whatever for him. But they're just gonna be known as choke artists every time. Every time they're brought up, it's like, oh, they can't close the big game, because look, he did it in San Francisco with Jimmy G. Jimmy G just fucked the game up with just one overthrow.
Yep.
So
well, we'll see. We'll see how the AFC South turns out. I think it's going to be Jags, Titans, Texans, Colts. That's how it's going to go. And obviously we'll have these clips in store. So if I'm right, I can rub it in everybody's face. All right. Last thing I wanted to get to tonight, Jared, wouldn't you say that there are teams in the NFL that are starving for a good season? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now they have the teams to do it, and expectations are high, energy's high, people are on the edge of their seats already, and the season hasn't started yet because they're itching and starving for a winning season, Jared. They need it. They're parched. They're famished. It's terrible. There's plague and disease everywhere throughout the city because these teams can't seem to get it right. So, After Huddle presents top 5 teams that are starving for a winning season this year.
And who got your top 5?
All right. Number 5. Okay. It's the Saints. It's got to be the Saints. This is the best that their team has looked in years. Especially since Drew Brees has left.
Yeah.
I think this is the best their team has looked. I don't necessarily see them not having a winning season. You got a cupcake schedule. You got a cupcake division. You got a quarterback now. I think Derek Carr is good. We've talked about Derek Carr in the past. I like their wide receivers, especially if Michael Thomas can stay on the field and stay healthy. That's absolutely 100% key. The biggest question mark to me is their offensive line. Like, can they protect just a little bit longer? Can they push the line just a little bit more in order to get those running lanes open? That's yet to be seen. I think that'll be a problem for them. But Saints, number 5, starving for a winning season this year. The team hasn't seen a Super Bowl in over a decade. I don't think they get there, but I do think they make the playoffs. They play better than they did last year, and they are starving for something good to happen.
I think it's going to be a little while until they get a Super Bowl, honestly.
Who do you got at number 5?
For a winning season?
Yeah.
Houston.
Why do you think that?
Well, got the quarterback for apparently the franchise quarterback, and that top 3 pick. Well, top 3 with Will Anderson, and with the head coach. So I'm not saying, have a 10 plus win season, but at least if you can get to maybe 7 wins, max, that'd be a turnaround major for them.
Yeah. Now you said who again?
Houston.
Oh, Houston. I don't see Houston having a winning season this year. They're just not. They're not ready yet. Soon though. I'll tell you my number 4 team. The Bears. Chicago. Like, geez, I can't remember the last time Chicago went to the playoffs and actually did something.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember when the last time they went to the playoffs.
Like, Chicago is starving. I mean, and they finally got some decent receivers for Justin Fields. He has to step up. The offensive line isn't all that great, but it can't. Don't expect it to be terrible like it was last year. If he can step it up, he talked about he's throwing for 4,000 yards this season. If he does that, they're going to look good. It's going to be tough in that division at that point. So I mean, I don't see how else it could go for them. Like, it has to go well.
So you took Chicago. Let's see.
Who you got at number 4?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go with Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah. They were, playoffs by that much last year.
Yeah. They're a little bit higher on my list.
Okay, so you already got a list.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll run down my list for you. Oof. Yeah. They don't. Yeah, Bears fans. Bears fans are like women. They remember everything. So, but I mean, so at number 5, I had the Saints. Number 4, I had the Bears. Okay. Number 3, I have Seattle. Okay. Now, when I say winning season for Seattle, I mean that they need to win the division. They need to overcome this 49ers hump that they have.
I have heard that Seattle could win the division this year because San Francisco don't know what they're doing with quarterback. They don't know if Purdy starts or if they start in Trey Lance. My opinion, I think they start Brock Purdy. That's just me. I don't think they believe in Trey Lance anymore, honestly, because he can never stay healthy and get on the field. And I think they're finally realizing trading up all that draft capital is now kicking them in the ass.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Brock Purdy on that one, but I have heard Seattle winning the division, so that's not something I haven't heard.
Yeah, like that's what I mean for them. When I say winning season for Seattle, is they need to win the division. That Geno Smith played really well last year. Their running game was strong. They got another solid wide receiver in the draft. They got a top 5 wide receiving core, in my opinion. Can their defense step up a little bit more? They were terrible in the run game last year defensively. we'll see how their defense can do, but they have to do better. They have to win the division this year. I think this is one of their few chances in the next coming seasons to win a division, and it's this season. So, and then number two is Denver. Okay, and I know Denver has won a little bit kind of recently, but you got that one championship out of Peyton Manning, and that's it. That's all you got.
That was Peyton Manning on his last leg too.
You know what I'm saying? Like since then you've been in quarterback purgatory. You don't know what you've been doing, and now you pay $250+ million to Russell Wilson to get him over there, and he shits the bed last year with Nathaniel Hackett as his head coach.
Yeah.
So now you got Sean Payton over there. Now there's no fucking excuse. Okay, you have a top maybe a top 15, maybe top wide receiving core: Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick. Not bad receivers. They're good. They're not great. You got I think a great running back in Javonte Williams.
He's coming off injury.
Yeah, your offensive line is okay. And your defense is pretty good. You got Patrick Surtain. Wait, what Dub's he talking about?
Which one are you talking about, Tracy?
What does he mean we can't count that dub? Oh, he's talking about the Broncos but Panthers Bowl. I mean, you got to count it. Unfortunately, you got to count it. Like, it happened. I don't like counting the bubble bowl for the NBA Finals, but it happened, so you got to count it. And even so, they didn't have a spectacularly good offense that season. Their defense carried them all the way through, and they weren't exactly a great team, I mean, but we'll see how they do this year. I think that they'll do better. I don't think they win the division because the Chiefs are really good, but I do think they do better than the Chargers, and the Chargers are going to regress even more this season, and it's not going to look pretty. I think old boy's going to get fired.
Who? The head coach?
Yeah, head coach. So, but we'll see. We'll talk about that. That'll be a couple weeks from now when we talk about the NFC West.
Yeah.
And the AFC West. Sorry. But my number one team who's starving for a winning season this year is the Detroit Lions. Okay? Just like you said earlier, they were this close to making the playoffs last season. Okay? Yeah, it was just basically people were bored. What are you going to do? Right. You got to put something on TV so people don't kill each other.
They had cutouts of people at games at that point.
But yeah, the Lions are the number one team that are starving for a winning season. Jerry, they haven't done much, especially since Matt Stafford's last good season with them, whenever they made the playoffs with Calvin Johnson and got screwed over by the Dallas no call. They haven't really done much since, and now Jared Goff's playing really well.
Yeah. I think they're all playing for.
I like that running back that they picked up in the draft, Jahmyr Gibbs. I liked him.
Yeah.
They got a pretty good wide receiving room. If Jameson Williams can stay on the field, like, I don't know why he hurt and then he gets caught up in this gambling stuff. Like, bro, like,
yeah. On top,
like, I haven't seen him on the field and for like he played only a few games in his rookie season because he was hurt. Be like, yeah, I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm sorry, I had to bring it up though, like, because that was the last time that y'all did it. It's been almost 10 years. It's the last time y'all been to the playoffs, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then now they are I think I actually am going to go on a limb and give y'all a little bit of a prediction of what I'm going to talk about next week. But the Detroit Lions are going to win the division next year, this season coming up.
Yeah.
I think the Detroit Lions are going to go and win 11 games, maybe 12 games, and win that division. They're going to be that good.
He said the game made him hate Des Bryant.
Yeah. But that's my top 5 list of teams looking for a starting for a winning season this year. It's gonna be interesting. I want to see who's gonna make it. I want to see who's gonna push and actually get that winning season.
Yeah, because from last year, what we saw last year with certain teams, there's potential with them. Like for example, Detroit is like what we were just talking about. Like they were that close to beating Green Bay to go to the playoffs, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now they have the chance. They could honestly sweep Green Bay. So
they can sweep Green Bay. They could also sweep the Bears.
That is true. They could. They're probably going to split with Minnesota.
I think they'll split with Minnesota as well. But they could go 5-1 in this division this season. That is an extremely high possibility for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you know, you never know how Minnesota's going to be. I mean, we'll see how Minnesota is. But we'll talk about that next week. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I don't think I have anything this week.
All right. Well, not bad for the first show live.
Yeah.
Pay attention more after the huddle coming up.
Yeah, we have. I've been talking to a few people. Like I told you, they have. Shout out to Swoop Boys. They want us to come on. They're Eagle fans, but they were telling me last week that they want to talk to a reasonable Giants fan. I'm like, oh, I know a reasonable Giants fan.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this Friday because of work, but the following Friday I might be able to swing it. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. If anything, maybe I'll see if I can talk to him about maybe moving it to like early in the week if they want to do it like that.
Yeah, we'll see. If it's not on if it's any weekday during the week, I'll probably be good. But I work Friday and Saturday night, so.
Yep.
But, all right, bro. Well,
all right.
Appreciate everybody tuning in.
For sure.
Appreciate the comments. Like, share, subscribe to everything. And we'll see y'all next time.
Yep. Till then, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right.